Hello and Happy New Year to all of our fresh cuppers out there.
Yes, Happy New Year.
We apologize. We took an unexpected hiatus because I got the gift of Christmas that nobody wants. I got the stomach flu, so we had to take a week off. But all good now.
Yes, you're back, energy, vibrant.
Well,
Sorta.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm here and I'm not sleeping for 17 hours a day like I did for a couple days.
No, I feel like, yes, it was such a good time over the last couple of weeks. But I'm feeling it. The post-Christmas, post-New Year gauntlet of just family and fun and just hanging out with everybody. It's a lot after a while.
Yeah, there's definitely a part of me that craves that routine, and it has, everybody talks about the abyss of the days after Christmas. What day is it? Where are we going? What's the plan? Who's here? And it's been a marathon of family. We still have family at our house right now.
Yeah. All right. So, what were some of the highlights?
Of Christmas?
Yes, of Christmas. Sorry. Or New Year.
Or New Year.
Which was more popular? I think it's kind of obvious that most people are like, oh, yeah, Christmas, we celebrate Christmas. But, in my family, Christmas was awesome, but we also had a ton of fun at New Year's was a big deal for us as well.
Yeah. It hasn't really been a big deal New Year's. We do have a New Year's Day tradition that we always make cinnamon rolls and watch the Rose Parade.
Yes.
And do nothing. We did a puzzle. We have a puzzle I got for Christmas, and it is a glow-in-the-dark puzzle.
Wow.
And my brother-in-law and sister-in-law have been here, and they like to do puzzles too. And we've been doing it all week long, and we are not done yet. It's like 60% of the puzzle is just black.
Really?
It's just
black.
Wow. It's frustrating.
Is it how many pieces?
It's 1,000. It's 1,000
that's a
pieces,
lot,
which
too.
is pretty normal.
Yeah,
puzzle
but if you
size,
did 500, it'd be a lot easier to probably connect those all black pieces.
Yeah, we have to organize them by shape and just try every piece. So.
Do you have one of those boards? Dana has
Of course
board.
I do.
Okay, I was
yes,
like, yeah,
of course. It's got the drawers.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
That's exactly what she's been doing. She's done, I think, so she's done 3 of them over this period. But again, all of them were fairly normal. They weren't all one color puzzles.
Yes, I know Dana. She does not do those puzzles that are purposefully hard. This one I think is purposefully hard.
I think she hands them to you actually. If it takes her more than a couple days, she's like, here later.
Yes,
you can have
I got
this one.
what was the puzzle that you got? Everybody, it was
some flowers or something.
Yeah, it was something like that. Nobody would do it, and I was like, I'll do it. And
Yes,
I did it.
Yes. You were like, and
I did it.
Well, tell us about.
Okay, so Christmas.
Yes, Christmas.
Okay, first of all, I know that our listeners have been at the edge of their seat waiting for us to come back so they could figure out and know the results of my family's pizza contest.
Yep.
And I'm here to tell you this morning that you're looking at or listening to the champion.
Let's go.
Let's go. So I won the pizza contest this year. That was definitely a highlight.
And did you get? Remind me. Did you get trophy?
We don't usually have a trophy, but this year we decided that we needed to have a trophy, so we found anything that we could find in my mom's house, and she had this big candle that's in the shape of a thumbs up.
Nice.
And there's
the
the wick is coming out of the thumb. So it's like, okay.
I like it.
So I don't know if it's like one of those you write your name on it and the year, and then you pass it around each year. I kind of like that idea.
So do you make your own dough, or do you buy the dough?
We always just buy our own Trader Joe's.
Okay.
I think my brother works at Trader Joe's now, so
There we
they were like $1 a piece or something.
Let's go.
So yeah, we each got our own.
This is not sponsored by Trader Joe's, just so we're clear.
But we're willing.
Yes, we're willing. We are willing.
We are up for auction.
So what are the ingredients to a championship winning pizza?
So this year I did a spicy barbecue Hawaiian. So I got there's my favorite barbecue sauce that we get. It's I can't remember the brand. It's the one that has like the squeeze bottle, but it's a peach bourbon barbecue. And it's the sauce in itself is really good. So I use that sauce, and then I put pepperoni. I was trying to find linguiça. That's what I wanted to put on there, but apparently because we have such a high Portuguese population here, it's like here, but they didn't have it at the store in Orange County, or maybe they were out. But so I settled for like a habanero pineapple sausage.
Like chicken sausage
Yeah.
type thing?
Hmm.
Yeah.
So that, and then I got fresh pineapple, big chunks of it, and then I found this honey that they had at the store that was like a pineapple habanero or pineapple jalapeno hot honey. And then I
Wow.
put jalapenos on it too. So I drizzled that on there and some cilantro.
I wonder how many people are listening right now that are like pizza purists that means no pineapple on my pizza ever.
I know it's very polarizing. I know my
is.
family, everybody in my family likes pineapple on their pizza. So, and I love pineapple on pizza. Are you a pineapple pizza guy?
I am not. I mean, I can do it if I have to. There's a place in Ohio called Donato's, and it's one of Dana's favorite pineapple and ham or whatever Hawaiian style pizzas. And they actually do brown sugar, I believe, on top of they take it and like dust the top with brown sugar. So you've got the ham, pineapple.
It gets kind of caramelized.
Yeah, sliced, really thinly sliced almonds, and then
Almonds on your pizza.
and then shaved or just a dusting of the brown sugar or whatever. I don't know. Cinnamon. Maybe it's cinnamon. I don't know. It's something.
Yeah. My mom made a good pizza too. Hers, I actually voted for hers. She made one that had like that fig.
Oh yeah,
fig
the jelly
jam,
or jam,
fig jam, and goat cheese, and I think there was even cream cheese on there and stuff. So hers was good. I like that one.
That fig jam is actually good on burgers.
Oh, we do that
So
all the
good.
time. All
So
the
good.
time. Fig and goat cheese, sucker for it.
Oh,
and
yes.
also Kingston won the kids competition.
What was on his?
He normally he's a purist, and every year he pretty much does pepperoni and bacon. That's
Nice.
it. This year, because he's been really into cooking steak, so him and my brother cooked a steak together, and they both used parts of the steak. So Kingston put steak on his pizza.
Did he call it sada?
It wasn't asada. He put like full on New York strip.
No way.
on his pizza.
That's great.
Yep.
That's great. All right, so pizza championship was great. Any other highlights for you?
Yes. I mean, the whole week, it's been fun. Exhausting, but fun. I mean, we went ice skating, which was...
Where did you do that? In Orange County?
Yeah. So in Orange County, it's, there's like an indoor ice skating thing.
Nice.
They have all those kinds of things.
Yes.
Places with population. Yeah, we just went ice skating. They had like open skate. We've done it the last couple years, and I only fell a few times.
No major wipeouts. No broken bones.
No broken bones. So, yep, that was a highlight, I guess.
A totally random rabbit trail, but like as you get older, we just bruise easier though. Like you fall like that, and all of a sudden, like, man, like my whole leg's all bruised up now.
Yeah, I definitely am not as much of a risk taker
Yes.
as I was earlier in my life. We have to keep it in check, but yeah, I did have a pretty good bruise on my knee for my first fall. But
Nice. Yeah, so we actually, for the first time in 9 years, we decided, hey, we need to go home and have Christmas dinner with my family, and we just, because of Christmas services always at church and Christmas Eve services, and then we have a annual tradition here at New Life of having Christmas prayer with the men at 5:30 in the morning.
yeah, very.
And yes, so I mean those are all great, but it's kept us from being able to go home and just celebrate Christmas with our family. And so on Christmas Day, we got up bright and early and took the 5 a.m. flight to Denver, and then Denver to Columbus, and had we were in Columbus by 3 p.m. and had dinner at 5 p.m. So it was
Wow.
great, and just an exciting time for us to be able to just spend time. We sing carols. That's kind of one of the things we do in our family.
Of course you do.
Yeah, exactly.
I know you. It's like you just like sing carols. I mean, I guess there's like a piano or
Yeah,
something.
my dad has a grand piano, so he plays and we sing along, and it's fun. And all the cousins were there, and so really it's been quite a while since we've been able to have everybody together, let alone everybody together at Christmas. So it was super, just a good and sweet time. But like you said, exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's this like tension at times where like, hey, this was amazing, and yet I'm still weary and tired, and so that
It's also so weird because I feel like I'm so tired and weary, but I didn't do anything.
right.
Like
yes.
literally half of my day, like one day down south, I like laid in front of my mom put on a fire on the fireplace, and I laid there and read my book for like
Yeah.
half of the day. But yet I'm still tired.
When the most significant like discipline thing you do is just trying not to keep eating, like that, it's been a very
Fail.
relaxing time. Yeah, exactly.
Fail.
So it's but that was really great. And then we spent that, and then we actually as a part of like that time, we're big Ohio State fans, and so we actually when they ended up in the Rose Bowl, we said, hey, we need to get tickets. So we got tickets to the Rose Bowl for
Nice.
myself and my two older children, and we all went to the Rose Bowl game, and that was a blast as well. So those were kind of my two
And they
major
got a win
highlights.
for you.
And they got a big win.
Big
yeah.
win.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Those kind of core memories. Dana will ask me sometimes, like, are you upset when they lose? I'm like, actually, it's not about them winning or losing. I like to enjoy like the win and that special moment with my kids. So when they win, it's just exciting to share that moment with them.
But when they lose, you aren't really a happy David.
I am not a happy person, but I've learned. I've gotten better. If people can imagine that, I've actually gotten better. It only affects me for a couple hours rather than a couple days. So
Progress.
Yes, progress.
Progress.
Yes, in all places.
So holidays were good. New Year's
Yeah.
was good. Was there any like challenges or like a,
it's good.
like a hard? I mean, you don't have to go too.
It was pretty just pretty chill for the most part. I mean, we had some logistical things, and again, I think that's why maybe I'm a little bit tired. Is we because Dana of one of her jobs, we were able to fly standby through airlines and through certain airlines, and so when we were in Columbus, we realized, hey, I've got to get back to preach on Sunday. It's the 26th, and there was no flights going out of Columbus for us to fly standby, so we ended up leaving Columbus at like 10 p.m. at night, drove to Indianapolis and caught a plane there, but that meant that we rented a car. And so we're driving there, and I'm going, we're not renting a hotel room as well. We're
Right.
just going to sleep in the car. We're going to act like we're in college and stay up all night. And so that's essentially what we did. I'm just reminded now at 45, though, that when you stay up all night, like for every hour you stay up past your normal bedtime, that's like a day's worth of recovery for me. So it's just not good.
Yeah, we're not in college anymore.
No, not at all. So, but yeah, I mean, everything was, like I said, for me, this was just a very sweet holiday, Christmas season, New Year's, again, spent a lot of time with family and just enjoyed it. I mean, again, I know not everybody's season was like that. And, we even here at the church are reminded that, people calling and leaving messages or talking with one of our folks and just saying, hey, we lost a family member or something happened. And so those things, I mean, even thinking about some of the tragedy that we saw happen,
Right.
Both in New Orleans and in Vegas. And so just, I guess I sit here a little bit like, yeah, I'm tired, but I'm just so grateful because it was just a sweet, sweet season.
Yeah, because it's not always the case. So you
Right.
do have to take a step back to remind yourself that even in the tiredness, even in the marathon of family or marathon of logistics and planes and trains and automobiles, that like this is a privilege and this is not guaranteed. So I'm tucking that away for myself to remind myself too.
No, that's good. What about for you? Anything that didn't go as planned?
Well, I would definitely have to say the stomach flu.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
The stomach flu knocked me out. I never have like stomach, like I don't need to get into the details
Yes,
here.
exactly.
But it was like the body ache and the chills. It just knocked me out so hard. Like my Fitbit, it's always so fascinating to me because, I love tracking on my Fitbit and seeing and they have all these different health measurements. And it's so crazy to see how your immune system kick into gear, like what that actually does. Because like on Sunday, and this includes driving Kingston to church because he wanted to go to church. So I dropped him off at church and went back to bed. And so on Sunday, I only got less than 800 steps the whole day. I slept for 17 hours, but I got 69 zone minutes, which means like 69 minutes of cardio because my heart rate was so high that anytime I got out of bed, it was like I was running
a marathon.
Yeah,
there.
it's just like,
Yeah.
I mean, it stinks to feel that bad, but it's fascinating to see like, wow, my body is really fighting this and doing what it's supposed to do. So I guess I'm grateful for it. But
Yeah. You know, it's crazy to me that physically our body is more in tune with that. So when you get sick, your body knows that you need to slow down, you need to recover, and you need that type of sleep, and you kind of can shut things down. But spiritually speaking, don't you wish you had that just kind of bell that went off in your head and go, hey, you know what? Hey, you're getting a little off track. Hey, pull back. But yet, so often we don't do that until it's a complete mess.
yeah, no, I've used that analogy before, that like reading scripture sometimes is that, you know, when you read scripture and it reads you and you're like, oh, that was a check. You know, I thought that I was, you know, doing okay in this area, but this, you know, and the Holy Spirit knows me better than I know myself. And I think that's what's cool about the Fitbit, the watch, is that it knows you better than you
Yeah.
know. Like you're like, and even the next day I was like, oh, I feel like mostly better. But then, you know, I'd look at it and be like, oh no, I'm still fighting. I should keep my door closed and not be around people for a whole
My
other day.
heart beat's still at a 98, right?
Yeah,
you know, or 100,
yeah.
and I'm not doing anything. So
yeah.
something's off.
I'm finally leveled out. So
That's cool.
I'm
Well, we're
healthy
glad that
again.
you're better. What's it look like for us coming up over the next couple of episodes? We've got some things happening. Any? Well, like,
Yeah.
where are we going?
Yeah, we got some ideas. I'm really excited because for a while it's been just me and you, which is fun, and I feel like we always have good conversation. I always leave feeling like insightful or incited.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know,
Something like
something like that.
I have gotten more insight.
There you go.
From our conversation, and so, but I think it would be cool if we opened it up and brought some guests on. So we're going to have some guests coming up in the new year. Probably some of our staff and pastors, maybe people who sometimes are maybe a little bit more behind the scenes. You might know what they do, but you don't know who they are, what makes them tick, like their story. So we'll have a little story time with the staff.
I love
story
it.
time.
You know, there's something about sharing what God has done in our lives and giving people some context for somebody's story and how God has moved. And so I'm super stoked to be able, some of it I don't even know.
Right.
And so just giving people an insight of just kind of the underneath the surface, you know, kind of deeper level of people's lives. And I know we have people on our team that have grown up in the church and they've followed the Lord all their lives, and we have people who grew up in non-Christian homes, and I know we have listeners that find themselves in that spectrum as well. We have people who are married and singled and widowed and all kinds of stuff. So we're going to just invite some of them on to share just kind of their story of following Jesus and how they came to know Jesus and what are some of the things that happened along the way, and get to know them even a little bit. What are some of their likes and things that they don't like? So it'll be,
I'm sure we'll have some fun as
Yes,
well. I'm sure it'll be some good, fun conversation, but also insightful.
Yeah.
And
Incited.
Incited. You know what, David?
Yes.
I just made up a new word, and
That's
it's
right.
a good word.
It's a good word.
That's
We
what
should
we're-
all be more excited.
we should all be more incited in 2025.
Yes. So, well, I was thinking, so I'm excited about the stories, and I was thinking about just entering into the new year and just giving people just a little bit of a snapshot of, all right, here you are ending 2024, entering into 2025. And I'm reminded that so often what we're looking for is a complete fresh start without the problems that happened in 2024. But so often you don't get that. So, for example, we have an insurance issue that's going on. My daughter had surgery, and then so there's an insurance issue. But in the process of
Sounds
that
fun.
issue, I know the company who supports our TRICARE switched, and so now we're dealing with two different insurance companies. Because the one started on January 1st and the other one ended on the 31st of December. So I'm just reminded, like, I wanted to have all of this go away before we started 2025, and here I am in 2025 still dealing with things in 2024. And I don't know if what maybe some of our listeners have experienced in 2024, but the reality is not everything is going to stay in 2024. You're going to bring some great things, obviously, into 2025. Hopefully some
Well, you're going to
momentum.
bring yourself into
Yes.
2025. So that
That's
in
true.
and of itself is, there's not going to be this perfect,
Yeah.
person just because it's a new year.
Yeah, but there's, again, I think of the person who was diagnosed with something in 2024 and is still going to have to deal with that in
Right.
2025, or the relationship aspect, or you're looking for maybe new employment, or any number of things, or your boss was a real pill. Don't say that, but your boss was a real.
I know mine. Oh my
For
gosh.
real. But no, your boss was like just awful in 2024, and you're entering 2025 like, I'm gonna have a fresh start. Guess what? Your boss is still there.
They might not have had a fresh start.
Yeah. So there's a passage though that's utilized by I see people post it periodically, and it's a great passage, but it just reminds us that the Lord's mercies are new every morning.
Right.
But what most people don't realize, or maybe don't take the time to pause and kind of capture the context of that passage, it actually happens in the book. That passage is actually written in the book of Lamentations. And so it's a whole book of lament in how things aren't going well, and how you want God to move in new and fresh ways, and he just doesn't seem to be moving. In fact, Lamentations chapter 3, starting at verse 19 says, I remember my affliction and my wandering, the bitterness and the gall. I well remember them, and my soul is downcast within me. Yet this I call to mind, and therefore I have hope. Because the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his mercies never fail. His mercies are new every morning. I'm sitting there going, are you kidding me? His compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness.
Yeah.
And so in the midst of remembering, and their heart and their soul even being downcast, the God is inspiring, the Spirit is inspiring this author to write, oh, but wait, his mercies are still new every morning.
Well, and also just a reminder, we always we're always tempted to just frame we talk about this a lot, things on our circumstances, that like, oh, it's this new year, new beginnings, new things, everything is going to go up. And we think about it in circumstances rather than, obviously, the writer of Lamentations, circumstances are not what he or she wanted. Like, it's not the plan. It's not like ideal, but yet, it's always that word yet that always gets me. That's like, yet your mercies are new every morning. And how much like it is our dependence upon those mercies that gets us through, and a reminder that we need to be dependent on them, that we can't, like, all of what life has that causes lament, like, we can't handle that on our own. Like, we need the mercy and the grace of God every day.
Well, what's fascinating, and again, you captured this when you talked about like the circumstance not changing. It doesn't say, oh, but in the morning everything will be better.
Right.
Oh, but in the morning your whole situation is going to be remedied. It doesn't say any of that. It just says, hey, life is challenging. These things are happening, and yet I know deep in my soul that your mercies are new every morning, that your compassion is with me, that you are with me, that you are faithful. And so again, none of that says your circumstance changes.
Right.
None of that says that you're going to all of a sudden have the answer that you were waiting for in 2024, and the clock turned, to 12:01 on New Year's Day, and you're like, oh, that really hard thing that I was trying to figure out, I got the answer now.
Right.
That's not what the text says. It says that even in the midst of that, your mercies are new, that your love is unfailing.
Yeah, and I think that part of God's mercies being new every morning is just like a new perspective. I know that's always, like, as somebody who's, we've talked about this before, struggles with sleep, sometimes it's at night when it's like those, the spiraling thoughts happen.
Yeah.
And there's something that happens in the morning that there is this new, fresh perspective that was like, oh, what I was like dwelling on in the morning, or dwelling on in the nighttime, like now in the morning, I have new mercy.
Yeah.
And that I think it is sometimes, and I do think that is what the beauty of the new year is, even though there's nothing magical or mystical or even spiritual about it. It's that it encourages us to have a new perspective, to have a fresh perspective, to maybe take a second to like reevaluate, like what happened in 2024, like what was the great things, and where did I excel? Where did I see God really pushing me and shaping me? And where are the areas that I maybe fell short or, didn't live up to the things that God had for me. And like, so how can I take that in? It's just like a wake up, like you do when you wake up in the morning, and it's like a fresh perspective of like, okay. And I think that's what the beauty of the new year is that it's just like a reminder to take a moment of introspection and intention for the new year.
Yeah. And so I guess, again, circling back to kind of where we're going to be going over the next couple of weeks, that's what I'm excited for, is to be able to hear people's stories, and they're not perfect stories, and they don't have all the answers figured out already. But in the midst of walking this journey day to day, they're learning to just trust in the Lord more and more every single day. They're enjoying aspects of life, of music and food and friendship and things of that nature. And just to be able to hear a little bit of, like, quite literally, this is what it looks like to live out the kingdom of God on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be great. I think I'm excited to get some fresh perspective from people that I know and work with and love even, but don't even know all the intricacies. And so I'm sure we'll all be incited.
All right, incited, yes.
Incited.
So go be incited this week. Right?
Yes. All right. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.